top 4. Got to get yourself into the top 3 by winning the here on out. This is going to be super important, and of course, bragging rights to add on to that. There's a lot of pressure, but which one has probably more pressure?
I would actually think it's Nova. So I have been spending a little bit of time with the Team Secret boys as well. I think they're fairly confident about this matchup. I mean, one of the things is, when you're playing against friends, you kind of know like the little nuances that they like to have, the kind of pushes, the kind of split push as well. Little things matter, especially when you're playing at such a high caliber and in front of a live crowd as well.
I mean, you can already see it here, right? You can see that Nova are banning out the likes of the TNX for the Musashi for TNX, sorry, and then you can kind of see the respect given for Muchi's Ali as well, right? And also Wendy's Mai Shiranui, so they are definitely learning from each other. Like you said, they are friends in IRL, but on the Gorge, they are definitely enemies, and they want to be going up against each other to try and get to that next spot in this tournament. But it is going to be the Dharma lock it in. Prio pick for Nova.
Alright, so Xuan with the single N coming in from Nova will be having the prio pick here. So I'm curious as to what this matchup will be like for the side of Team Secret's Xuan, because at this point, they might be going for very different styles, right? We have seen the teams in this tournament go for the pick-off compositions, the team fight compositions, or the death ball, right? And right now, it seems like it's going to be a pick-off composition on the side of Nova as well.
Yeah, speaking of pick-off composition, there is 2 big picks there on the side of Team Secret, and it is Zhang Fei and Lady Chen. So again, great zoning potential with the Destructive Deluge, and we know that Huhan loves this pick. This was something that was starved from the side of Team Secret yesterday, so I kind of saw this coming, right, because they're kind of giving respect with these 2 prior bans at the first stage of the BPs, and now they are starting to sort of kind of like, right, okay, what's going to be more important? Zhang Fei or something that's in the farm lane?
Look, I've been talking about Zhang Fei all day, and he has not performed well. I think he's lost 3 times already. That 75% win rate has plummeted, but Nova Esports in the playoffs is 5-0 on the Zhang Fei. Team Secret is 3-0 on the Zhang Fei. So almost any team that picks it up, it looks like they're going to get out the W.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way, right? But there was, like you said, just there, Holler, that their last series wasn't the best performance for the Zhang Fei. And again, it just shows that this is what happens when you're against great teams. It doesn't matter about the picks, it's the execution. And speaking of execution, we have the Diadea, we have the Lung. So we see Muchi is getting that infinite fastness, the right to wins, and the flaming palms are going to be hitting super duper hard against Sun's Lady Sun.
Okay, so behind the scenes, I'm sure you guys know that they have scrims as well, right? So Team Secret and Nova, they definitely have practice in scrims. There's a reason why this Agudo is banned. Not just because, BSE has been performing really well on this, but this has been used in the scrims as well for sure. And with this strategy, they don't want to be, muddled by the fact that they can't have a good entry, right? They want to damage in.
Yeah, that's exactly what they wanted to do here with this pick, right? It's like, what else is they going to be needing in this draft to make this work? I can imagine there's going to be a little bit of a CC coming through, maybe the likes of the Liam Po, right? Maybe not quite going to fit into the team comp now that they've got the Diadea or the Dharma, so nowhere for that to go. So they're going to be needing something that has the AoE. So maybe something like a Princess Frost, right, for Wendy, just to kind of give him a bit of zoning. But we're going to be seeing Xuan on that Mai Yin. So again, we saw Xiang on the Mai Yin in the last series and was playing phenomenally against those 2v1s with the Clash lane.
Yeah, okay, and most importantly is both of these Clash laner picks have the ability to have AoE catch, right? So Dharma as well as Mai Yin, they do have the ability to catch up 2 or 3, maybe even 5 members on the opposite end. And this is one of the strategies that has been employed by both teams consistently throughout the tournament. So right now, they're looking for a bigger opening. Hit and run strategy coming in from Nova here with the Shangguan. And finally, the Orgrim. I was actually considering a Dune for them because I think the pacing is a little faster. But right now, they definitely need an Orgrim. They need a tank because if they get caught off guard, it's not going to be a pretty story for the side of Nova. Likewise, for the side of TS, for Team Secret, they will need someone who's tanky enough to be able to sustain the damage of the Shangguan in order for them to make that counter assault back. And okay, wow, I like this.
Okay, they go for the Hanshin. So I was going to actually go along the lines of either, like you said there, the Dune or even the Monkey for the side of TNX, because we know he loves that pick, but they're going to go for the Hanshin. So they're having a little bit of a Freddy Freeber like we saw in the last series. Hanshin tank has been pretty much a little bit of a pocket pick within the Gorge, right? It's not been a prio one, but it's definitely been something that they ban out against certain teams.
Okay, now we will see, right? early game, super important, not for the Ogren only, but more important for the Hanshin. If a Hanshin falls behind, it's going to be disaster. I mean, we place faith in TNX as well, but you cannot deny how strong Nova Esports is.
Oh no, yeah, that's the first kind of fault, right? That's where you will end your current great stepping into this best of 5 is if you start to underestimate Nova Esports, because they showed it yesterday that they're able to take a great victory from Blacklist. Yes, I mean, we could contest saying that Team Secret is better than Blacklist and a little bit of a harder enemy, but it doesn't take away that they were able to 3-0 just like Team Secret. So it is the battle of 3-0 today.
Yeah, I think so, right? I mean, with the caliber of the players right now, there is the potential of a 3-0 as well. And it looks like Waypit did not manage to keep the eye on that red buff, the Crimson Golem, for a little bit too long. So, which means that now they know that this is an opening that maybe TNX can expose.
Yeah, we can see the Rider Winds connecting there onto Huham, right? I mean, that's going to be the thing that kind of just gets them up into the air, stops the kind of counter-engage coming through. But TNX going for the farm here. We see him start off at blue, and now he's heading over to red and starting just to try and gain that tempo on the side of Team Secret.
Yep, and if you notice the rotations of the players, they're actually checking certain camps, right? So the board camp, they want to make sure that, hey, maybe we can take a steal out of this, and that's going to affect the growth on the side of TNX by quite a lot.
I mean, this is like watching a mirror, right? It's kind of like Shuan against Shuan. I'm like, that's going to be hard for you to call there, Hall. It's like, hey, we've got to put that double N into the mix.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Schwan is going to win that lane.
Yeah, which one?
Good guess. Good guess.
I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I'll show myself out, guys.
Yeah, show yourself there. Show yourself there. Right, so already, there's no kind of, it's very respectable early game, right? They're not trading blows. They're just trying to both gain a tempo and see who can take it.
Yeah, Xuan might be in a little bit of trouble here. The rotation's coming in very early from Nova, and I think, you know...
Oh, they want to dive. Xuan taking a lot of damage with that finishing stroke, but not enough to pick him off. Wendy almost gets style points for that one.
Style finesse for the side of Team Secret, right? And again, this just shows that it is the Mayim pick, and it definitely does go towards the players' respect as well, right? Because Siang was able to do that exact same thing. Take the odds in the class lane.
Yeah, and TNX might want to try and poke them down a bit. He does have the EXP advantage against CY, which is good news for him, but he needs to do a little more because equal levels does not do anything for the side of Hansing.
Yeah, no, you even need the gold resources that are going in the lead of Nova right now, so not too far away from the side of Team Secret, but it's definitely starting to see that snowball effect, right? Like, they need to make sure that they're able to either get the first blood, because obviously you get a little bit more of an extra bonus gold for that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, you know, EXP is in favor of Team Secret, but they might not be able to hold on to that too long, because I think at this point, the first rotation from the side of Nova is looking a little scarier compared to what we have on Team Secret.
Yeah, it's definitely more aggressive, right? Like we saw when they go to the Clash lane. I don't think we've actually seen anybody leave the lanes on the side of TS just now, but hey, this is TS. They like to brew up their moments, kind of a little bit like a reminiscent of BSE, right? I mean, these guys overall play together, so you're going to see a bit of a resemblance in their playstyle.
Yeah, and you know what? Nova, at this point, they have a better starting early game because the level 4 on Wendy is quite the knocker. But, oh, hang on.
Oh, the truth! He does some damage! He's not able to kill him, though, but the finishing stroke just barely enough, and Wendy will get first blood.
Yeah, speaking about knocking, right? That was the truth mantra. Knocking the lights out of Xuan on the side of Team Secret there. So it was a good attempt to try and get out of there, but it is going to be first blood going over to Nova.
Taking a lot of damage. He flashes over the wall. He's going to be fine, but Yuan spots him out. CY, again, being aggressive, and that's going to be a little uncomfortable for Team Secret, especially since TNX needs to get that farm.
Yeah, and CY is already at level 7, right? That's a huge danger. A 3-level advantage at any time of the game means you can take absolutely any fight.
Yeah, any fights, and we can kind of see here that we see that Nova are using the teleport mechanic for themselves to set up an easier neutral objective for them. You see the Shuon was actually checking the brush there with the punches from Dharma, and they're able to clean that up easy. Papa passing straight into the Azure Golem, really just demanding a tempo stop for Team Secret.
Yep, TNX survives that. He does get the Azure Golem buff over to his side. They're going to start working on this Overlord. And this is a good pacing, right? Team Secret, I think over the past 2 days, they have shown that they are able to play at a really fast pace. But the question is, can they stop the growth of Nova? Because Nova, Their draft really works off great of its snowball potential.
Yeah, I mean, you've got like Lung, right? You've got the more items he gets, the Flaming Palm starts to hit a little bit harder. Same with the Shined One into the mid lane, just landing those finishing strokes, getting those magic damage items here. But CY is just phase checking the bushes. He's there to just float around. He's having the time of his life. He's able to just go through, set the direction he wants to go.
Yeah, but it also gives information, right? So Xuan, the one with 2 ends,
Yeah.
he will know and let the team know that, hey, maybe you can look at a rotation towards the farm lane. There may be lesser members there as well. So Nova, I like the pacing so far, and right now I don't think there's going to be any trouble. Wendy should be safe.
Oh, Unbridled Outburst completely whiffing Yuhan. It's going to be up in front, and they want to contest this one. And it looks like TNX might have gotten that one with that smite, but now he's gotten locked in. He gets over the wall, dashes away with that Ruthless Assault, and he gets back to safety.
Yeah, I mean, he got the Crimson Golem, but at what cost, right? Almost his life in that little tit for tat between Nova and Team Secret. But that was a really good dodge from Wendy, right? Just completely mitigating that impact that we know Unbridled Outrage can have. And they take the T1 down into the farm lane, taking a lot of save space from Sun.
Yeah, but that's exactly what they need to do. They're falling behind, they need to take this risk as well.
Oh, it looks like it doesn't really get that one on this one. TNX will smite yet again. He goes around. He's going to look to just kind of take the mid lane, but the top lane is pushing.
Yeah, Shuan is actually just trying to get a little bit of proxy farm there, just trying to stop him, trying to get a bit of pressure into the side lanes, trying to just make a bit of a statement play from what happened into that farm lane. We do see the Conductor Souls coming through a little bit early there, and Shuan is going back in with a 2v1.
The flash away. He gets to safety. His teammates have arrived, and it took a little bit of a scary moment, I would say, but a quick pause for now.
Out of fear and desperation, because you definitely want to lead the series, right? That's something that gives you a little bit more confidence, more composure, and pressure is going to be on the losing team, right? Right now, if I'm down, example, 2 games, I'm not going to be playing as well.
No, absolutely. I mean, we are seeing that the gold lead getting kind of still going in the favor of Nova here, so they're able to kind of keep that tempo even though the game pause was done there and then. But we're over that. Hopefully no more there. We can kind of see that the Eternity Blade's coming through. We have the Meteor on the Lung. So in terms of the Zhongfei, he's going to be packing a punch as well as the Han Shen.
Yep, curious why Sun didn't go for the Meteor instead.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going for, it looks like that he's got the physical defense boots, right? And he's going for the Eternity Blade. Maybe it's because they don't really have much of a tank in terms of the side of Nova, right? I mean, yes, Orgrin is quite tanky, but I feel like he's very item dependent when he becomes tanky.
Okay, so it's for the Shadow Reaper. He wants the extra move speed as well. And once again, the invade comes in.
Invade. Really not much you can do. TNX going for the steal, not able to do it. He smites a little bit on the early side. Shisan actually flashes back to safety, and it looks like they've gotten Juan. Caught him out of a bad spot. CY, Conductor of Souls, he pat the passings, but he gets stuck, and he gets killed. Juan is going to get another kill, but it looks like Juan will die in return. It's a 2-for-1 thus far.
Yeah, really good trade there between both of these teams. And Team Secret actually coming out on top, but it may not be done that yet. Oh!
Sun just gets picked out. You're stuck in no man's land.
Yeah.
Muchi will take that one.
Yep, it was looking good for a moment for Secret, right? They defended. I mean, they lost the Zero Golem, but they got a couple of kills to recover. But losing Sun is such a big deal because at this point, you want Sun to be untouched. You want him to, snowball and farm. That's how this team composition works.
Yeah, if we just look at the replay, right, you can kind of see that Shuan is into the backline there. A little bit too much lost in the source for the Dharma there. And there's no wall quite close by. They could hit the Truth Mantra. And then CY, his Path of Passing was clearly on cooldown because he couldn't get out of the Zero Golem buff. And then the Flaming Palms, really showing the actual use of the Meteor, right? That really hit hard for Muchi.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the way that Muchi and Waypit actually communicate in that fight because I felt like they could have gone in as well, but they were kind of waiting for a singular moment, of which obviously Wendy obliged and went for the killing blow at that point. So is this going to be a behavior that affects them in late game where they might be caught out in a fight where they're outnumbered? Right, that's a big thing for me in Nova's gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, you lose one, but then you pick up, what, 2 as well? So it's kind of like using Shuan to just to spearhead the movement, but then you know that Waypit and Muchi are going to be like behind and then trying to chase whatever strays is going on, and that's what you saw in that part of the team fight.
Yeah, CY taking this Zero Golem is huge for the side of Nova, right? At this point, we already know, right? Any game at this caliber, at this kind of quality, 2,000 gold is a huge marker, it's a huge deficit.
Yeah, I mean, last time we looked at that, right, it was only a matter of a few hundred, so now that's 2K, it's slowly going to start snowballing. Team Secret have to do something to stop this hype.
Yep, the bleeding is starting. They have to stem it somehow. And I think T2, they will be able to defend this, but it might be an unnecessary fight.
A bit of an unnecessary fight. We did see the Destiny counter.
Oh, the unbridled outburst connecting on the end. It looks like they're going to continue on for this one. They're looking to go, but it looks like Waypit is going to be killed on this one. They're going to continue on for this. They're doing some damage. Yuhan is about half-life. Continuing on, Shisan is going to be killed. So it's going to be a 2-for-1. Team Secret limp away.
They do limp away there. I mean, a lot of them was very, very low, right? There was so much to be had from Nova, but TS is able to do a very clean counter engage.
Okay, it was a small win for the side of Team Secret, but overall, Nova still won, right? Simply because, you know, the waves still crash in, they taken the T2, now they might try for the steal, and this might be a big punishment for the side of Nova.
Oh, but ride the wind, pushing them back. TNX is all the way up in front. Who's going to get the steal? And it looks like it's going to be taken by TNX. Nice play. He gets the smite, and the infinite fastness on back. Wendy had been killed by Sun, so this is a huge win for Team Secret.
Yeah, a lot of damage already been taken out from the side of Nova thanks to them taking out Wendy, but getting that neutral objective is going to be huge for the side of Team Secret, and you can see now it's bouncing backwards and forwards in terms of the gold. It is like a pendulum swing in between both these teams.
Yep, and it's still not a good case, right? Nova, I feel like they have always had the lead, but they aren't able to keep it. Right now, in terms of turrets, they have lesser than the side of Nova, yet they're matching them in pacing of the gold as well.
Yeah, that's kind of like where the tempo kind of lies, right? Is in that gold resources. They need to do something in terms of this lane priority as well. They've tried to push the clash there as well. They were able to get the T1. They need to try and work. I think the falter of this game is whoever takes the T1 in the mid lane is going to be at a huge loss.
Yep, the vision control is going to be huge, right? For the side of either team that gets it right now, it's really about the control. But Team Secret, they are the one that is suffering because their T1 in the mid is less than half its health.
For now, yeah, for now. I mean, it's very, very low. If they're able to try and get this team fight in the mid lane for Nova, especially in their favor, right? They're just using that path of pass in just to make sure they get the phase check in the brush for now. And they need to do this with Team Secret because you're always going to find a lonely straggler at the side of Team Secret. And even for Nova, they have that same kind of strategy.
Yeah, so TNX, of course, doing his best to kind of get the split push going, simply because they want the waves in their favor, and then they'll start to take a fight, right? So regardless, even if they win or lose, there is going to be a negating factor in the pressure coming in from Nova as well.
Yeah, the clean slate for that neutral objective on the Overlord is going to be good for Team Secret now.
Oh, the Conductor of Souls, CY, though, he's been pulled back by the whatever, but CY is going to be killed. Make that a double. They got Waypit as well, and Team Secret with the Overlord. They're pushing the Shadow Vanguard at the bottom, and they look to make their push in the top lane.
Yeah, only time will tell who came out on top of that interaction, right? Because, I mean, yes, they lost the side, they lost CY and Waypit, but it was Nova that got the T1 into the mid lane, right? So already a bruised mid lane. It just means that we need to see who uses this Overlord better. Is Team Secret going to use it and actually get some pushes, get some siege going on? Or is Team Nova going to actually get the gold from it?
But look at how the fact that the kills are converting into towers. Like, that's the biggest thing, and that cements your lead. Team Secret now with a 1K net worth lead.
Yeah, already been pushed back to the high ground turret here is Nova, and that mid lane is going to be handed with some TLC from a TNX as well. So they take the T1, they take the high ground turret as well up into the base. So this is exactly what Team Secret needed to get back into this game.
Yeah, normally TLC means 10 to 11K, right? But at this point, it's just table, ladders, and chairs coming in for the side of Nova because they are getting crushed. At the same time, this is what you can expect out of Team Secret. They will start to play the map a little bit more precariously because they have the advantage. At this point, Nova hasn't really hit that late game marker yet. The only person that has this potential is Muji, right? He finally gets that siege breaker. So it could be a huge change of the pacing of the fights. But here's one thing. Team Secret, Mr. Sun, has not been touched in the last 3 fights. 0 damage.
Yes, no damage at all in those fights, right? Like, he's able to sort of position himself very well within the team fights there, and we can kind of see the Vision Sprite being used here. This is a new mechanic within the Gorge right now that allows you to just have those extra brushes so you can try and get a little bit of a gank and a bit of a comeback mechanic in this game, right? And that's exactly what Nova need right now because they're behind in gold, but they are slowly kind of making it up as they give Team Secret give them a bit of space.
Yeah, the space given is just a bait, right? Because Team Secret, they're ready to fight now. Moreover, with the Tyrant buff, TNX will start looking as well. Waves already hugely managed by the side of Team Secret. Xuan needs to be careful, and I'm talking about the Nova Xuan.
Yeah, they do need to be careful. I mean, they're both in the bush, right? They're in the opposite sides of the bush. There's a little bit of a telepathy going on because they share the same name. But right now, I feel like it's Nova's pure prerogative here just to make sure that they take these minion waves and just kind of just mitigate any kind of damage control, right? They just need to make sure they don't lose any more higher ground turrets.
Yeah, for sure. And now let's talk a bit about Team Secret. TNX, here's the comm that's coming in from him, right? TNX's job right now is just to force the flashes coming out from Nova. Any flash does good for them because that's 90 seconds or 120 seconds worth of cooldown that, they don't have an escape mechanism.
I mean, you guys were talking about in the draft phase about how the TNX Hanshin really needs to get this farm. He's got a 2K net worth lead, make that almost 3 at this point. Is that enough?
Oh, definitely it's going to be enough, and they will look for an opening here if Nova gives it to them.
Ooh, the flaming palms connected onto Xiangfei there. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do it.
TNX looking to go for this one, but Wendy dashes back to safety. But again, this T3 is open, something they need to take care of. But again, without any minions, they really can't push.
Just cleaning up shop right now, isn't it? It's just like Nova, if they give them too much time, they've got to be careful of the Overlord, right? Coming up in about 13 seconds. I feel like if they bounce back at this neutral objective, it could be very good for Team Nova, but if they lose the neutral objective, it's going to be at the detriment of Team Nova's game 1.
Yeah, and this is why you want to invade the jungle, get the timings of the buffs, right? So now that TS know that, hey, the Crimson Golem is going to be up, they will start to focus the number of members coming out from Nova there, and see why they know he's alone at this point, but the backup is finally coming.
Yo, they've already got the Overlord, the Unbridled Outburst pushing CY back. He's been knocked up, but he does have the heals. The Conductor of Souls looking to turn this around. The Stasis versus Shazam, but Juan is going to be the first to fall. The Infinite Fastness on backwards. He's going to U-turn on this one out, but the Stampede onto Wendy, and they pick him off as well. They got another bit of control. Yuhan is going to sacrifice himself for this one, but Wendy down as well as Juan, and they do have an opening here with the minions looking to crash in. Sun all the way up in front. CY getting burned down. He's just barely alive. He does survive. Juan is going to be killed, but they do take the face, and T3 strike first.
Very good play there towards the end of Team C.
Yep, that itemization coming out from Team Secret, really beautiful. Make full use of that Sage's Sanctuary. Yes, TNX, you are the big boy in this house right now, because there's another thing. I'm not sure who the shot caller is for the side of Secret, but whoever it is, he has prepped Sun so well in this game. The moment where Nova's Xuan wanted to come in with the truth, Sun actually took a couple steps back. He was waiting for that move.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense for TNX to be the shot caller, right? Because it's generally either the jungle or the support where they have a little bit more room to breathe, set the direction within these team fights. But that is Team Secret taking game 1 from Nova, and they came back from a shaky start, right? Nova was actually gaining some traction in that game 1 in terms of gold, in terms of the objectives like the T1s, but then it was Team Secret. As soon as those neutral objectives started to come on the board and they were taking dominance of them, it went definitely in their favor.
I mean, we've seen this time and time again. If you give anything to these teams at this level, they will be able to come back, right? And I think Team Secret found, they won one team fight, and all of a sudden, what? The T1, the T2, the T3 was all taken out in a simple one fight.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what's so scary about the teams here, the Final Four, right? Anytime you have major objectives taken, but your opponent is keeping pace with you in the gold, that's a bit of a scary situation, because this is what exactly a good team can do, which is turn it around in an instant. The moment TNX went in for the kill, Sun was just free on his own as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a quick look at the highlights of this game 1 to see how Team Secret took the edge.
Hi everyone, I'm Yuhan, and I'm the official 2024 HOK Championship Observer. The tournament highlight of the day is here. 3, 2, 1, showtime!
And here we go into the highlights of Game 1. As we saw that Clash Lane fight, right? It was Wendy against the world. Shuan was able to get taken down on the side of Team Secret. And we see here that Nova had a solid early game, but it was this kind of team fight where Shuan got lost, and then we saw that they were able to pick up the strays from Muchi in the late part of the game, which is kind of like where we start to see the wheels fall off the bus.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the main things, with the exception of this play itself, Sun was actually almost untouched in most of the fights, right? He always had room to really just get the shots in as well. He was always a safe distance away. And even here, Rolling Ray just out of range in order to turn the fight as well. And Nova, I think they did well, but Sun, as long as he's alive, it's going to be a horror story for the side of Nova Esports.
Yeah, I mean, Lady Sun's one of his prior picks, right? I mean, and there we go. I mean, TNX is going in there and taking that neutral objective so nicely. We've been seeing quite a few crucial kill thefts today, and they have been nothing but phenomenal. And right now, you can see here that once they got that crucial cold theft, it was kind of like they knocked the sail out the wind of Team Nova.
Yeah, Nova opened up the clinic, but Team Secret called the doctors here, and they make quick work of them.
Yeah, I mean, look at the cleanup shop here. This team fight towards the end. Waypitch was trying to keep them up of that crystal, but they had the Overlord Vanguard come through. They had the enhanced minions into the clash lane as well, so everything, all the stars were aligning for Team Secret to finish this game here, because if they didn't, it would have been harder part for them to try and gain some notoriety.
Okay, and this is a big win, right? Knowing your opponents so dearly and having the first lead in the series of a best of 5, I think that feels great.
Oh, absolutely, and that's Team Secret taking game 1 from Nova Esports. So we already seen potentially of a clean 3-0 for Team Secret, but now we're going to look into the MVP, and to be honest, TNX with some great direction for his team.
Yeah, I mean, he was 106, but he was farming all around the map. I mean, you were talking about the fact that there was like a 500 gold differential, and they were like, where is he, where are they finding it? TNX was finding it across the map. He was just kind of like Pac-Man, just eating all the dots all across wherever he could find it. And Nova really didn't have an answer for the fact that he was just stealing their farm and getting away with it.
Who's supposed to catch him, man? Like,
That's the thing, that's the
if you
draft,
look
right?
at the draft on Nova, who is in charge of catching TNX?
I mean, if you look, it'd be these two, right? If it was me, you'd be looking at the Diadem for the immobilization and then the Truth Mantra. But the thing is, you have to hit those skills to catch the Hanshin, and that's something that they weren't able to do.
Yep, and exactly, if you leave the Lung alone, Muji, yes, he had the 12k, he was 6 slotted as well, but it's difficult because at this point, Sun definitely has a longer range, and the damage that he dealt, take a look at how much he did. 89,000 worth of hero damage straight down the throats on the side of Nova Esports.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that one as well, if you look at the damage taken between these two farm lane players as well, 29k to 44, like you said, it was a lot more surgical for the side of Team Secret. Sun was always kept at a very safe distance. You saw that up towards their clash lane fight where they had Shuan on the Dharma, they tried to catch him out with Truth Mantras, but he would still be able to roll it with like so little health.
Yep, it seems like I think Nova, they're trying to put pressure onto Team Secret, but Team Secret has this presence of mind to really watch out what Nova wants to do, and that's what's really scary going against an opponent that you know of.
Yes, and you can kind of see here with the gold graph, right, going in the favor of Nova, a little bit more reminiscent of last series, right? There was a lot of up and downs going on the gold graph, but then you can kind of see here, this is where the precipice of where Team Secret started.